Dear Santa, please come to the 19th floor, by Yin. Also illustrated by Chris Soentpiet. Read aloud by Big Papa Scott. In a few days, Christmas will arrive. A zigzag around the park with my best friend Carlos, in his wheelchair. Since kindergarten, we've played together and dreamed together, like two peas in a pod. Since the accident, Carlos isn't the same. My mama said his spinal cord was damaged. When Carlos found out he might never walk again, he got angry. One time he threw his favorite basketball out of the window. The basketball was a gift his papa gave him before he moved away. Time to come up, a voice screams from above. Uh-oh, that's my mom. Let's go, Carlos says. Charge! Carlos navigates and I push as we race to our building. You have the key? Carlos asks. Nope, thought you had it. No one is supposed to get into our building without the key. I knock for someone to open the locked lobby door. Mrs. Perez from the 13th floor, her hair curlers tight as springs, opens it for us. Gracias. Thank you, I say in Spanish. Inside the building, we wait for the elevator. More and more people come and wait. Finally, it arrives. Jose, who works as a security guard, holds the elevator door open for all of us. Con permiso. Excuse me, I say, and we sandwich our way into the crowded elevator. As Buddy the Wino stumbles his way towards the elevator, Jose covers his nose from Buddy's breath. You'd better get to your job on time so you don't get fired again, Jose whispers to him. The door slides open on the second floor and Buddy almost trips off the elevator. 3, 4, 5, we count. Getting off, the old man Sims says. 10, 11, 12, 13, Mrs. Perez, clutching her bag full of groceries from the local bodega, shuffles out. 15, 16, 17, 18. Jose's stop. You boys be good. He smiles and he steps off. We're the last to get off since Carlos lives on the 19th floor, all the way at the top. And 19th! Carlos and I slip through the quick-closing elevator doors and race down the hallway to his apartment at 19G. Carlos's mama gives him a nice welcome hug. Then she turns to me and gives me a hug. My mama is always working at the hospital, so Mrs. G is like an aunt to me. At the dinner table, Mrs. G piles our plates with lots of spaghetti and meat sauce. Hey, Christmas is near. What would you like Santa to bring? Mrs. G asks. Santa never comes here to this neighborhood, I reply. Rachel, Carlos's sister, says, we don't even have a fireplace or chimney. He would never come anyway. Santa wouldn't want to see me in a wheelchair, Carlos says sadly. There's a silence in the room. I can see tears start to well up in Mrs. G's eyes. Well, we have to understand that Santa is a very busy man, she explains. He probably doesn't know you boys live up here. Rachel thinks hard. Even if he knew, he couldn't get past the lobby. He doesn't have the key. Then he'd have to take the elevator all the way up. Too much trouble for an important guy like him. Unless what? I mumble between mouthfuls of spaghetti. We write him a letter with instructions on how to get in, Rachel says. That's silly, Carlos says. But I look at Rachel and I have an idea. After dinner, Carlos is frustrated that he has to do his therapy exercises with Mrs. G. I sneak to the computer in the other room. It's used. Social services gave it to Carlos and his family. But it works. Rachel sneaks in too. Try Santa Claus at NorthPole.com, she whispers. I start to type. Dear Santa, please come to the 19th floor. When you arrive in my building, ring the intercom 11A. I can buzz you through the locked doors. Then I can take you up to Carlos's apartment. My pal Carlos is in a wheelchair now and could use a good surprise. Your buddy, Willie. P.S. Mrs. Carlos's sister said to leave your reindeer on the street with the other parked cars or else you'll get a ticket. With the mouse, I click on the send button. I hope Santa comes. That will make Carlos's Christmas. Before the accident, Carlos and I would stare out the windows of the 19th floor and at the stars and dream together. He'd say, I'm going to be a basketball player. I'm already good at defense. I want to be an astronomer, I say. We don't dream like we used to. Now I stare out the window at the stars alone. It's getting late, Willie, Mrs. G calls out. I head back to my apartment on the 11th floor and past some real tough-looking kids that hang out. Our entire neighborhood is scary and rough. Why would Santa even want to come here? Days pass, and soon it is Christmas Eve day. Carlos stays home with his family, and I stay at home with Mama. Willie, it's almost 11 o'clock. Aren't you going to bed? Mama asks. But tonight Santa will come, I say. You have to be asleep for him to come. Mama tucks me into bed. Sweet dreams, baby, she softly coos. In bed, I toss and turn. Santa has to come for Carlos. I get up and look out my window. No Santa in sight. I lie down on my bed again, and minutes pass. I lie down on my bed, and minutes pass. I look out my window again. Further down the street, I see someone in a red suit walking toward my building. It's him! I grab my jacket and quietly sneak out of my apartment. I head to the elevators on our floor. I wait and wait, but neither elevator comes, so I skip down the steps as fast as lightning. I hold my breath and stand perfectly still as he stares at the intercom. He looks exactly like what I imagined. But he's confused. He doesn't know which buttons to press, and he can't get through the front doors. I open the door for him. Santa, is that you? Ho, 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 he cheers. Special stop for the 19th floor. I'm Willie. Just who I want. I think your intercom is broken, Santa says. I grab Santa by the wrist and pull him through the doors. Don't worry, you're in. Santa and I wait for the elevator to take us up. Minutes pass and it does not come. I notice Santa looking at his watch. More minutes pass and still no elevators. Santa looks at his watch again. I can tell Santa can't wait much longer. I have an idea. I take Santa by the arm and yank him towards the building stairs. Santa stares up at the dark staircase. His nose twitches at the air. It smells like dirty socks. But Santa isn't a man to disappoint, so he takes off his hat. To the 19th floor we go, he shouts. He leaves his hat behind. We make our way to the second floor, where Buddy the wino is hanging out on the steps. He doesn't have a job, I whisper to Santa. Can't show up for work on time. He gets fired all the time. Santa takes off his watch. Merry Christmas, my friend, he cheers. This will help you get places on time. Hey, thanks, Buddy smiles with delight. We climb to the 3rd floor, the 4th. My feet are killing me, Santa says. He takes off his boots. He pulls a pair of sneakers out of his bag. These are just my size. Santa struggles to get his feet snugly into the new sneakers. He leaves his heavy boots behind. We make our way to the 5th floor and the 6th. At the 7th, Manny is mopping the stairs. Bored as ever. Watch it, he grumps. The floor is slippery. Oh, oh, oh. Why are you working? It's Christmas Eve, Santa says. Manny answers with a deep sigh. Overtime. Santa hands Manny a gift. Maybe this will make your overtime more exciting. Manny opens the gift and admires a brand new radio. Thanks! Manny tunes his favorite channel and mops the floor to the beat of the music. We continue up to the 8th floor, 9th. At the 10th floor, Santa sits down. I haven't eaten since breakfast, he huffs. I dig in my pocket. Just Santa's luck. I find some wrapped cookies that we get free at school. Have one. How did you know I like cookies? He giggles and munches on a cookie. He takes another deep breath and marches up to the 11th floor and the 12th. Meanwhile, on the 13th floor, Mrs. Perez, her curler still in, is trying to get her cat out of the fire hose box. Santa reaches into his bag. He gives Mrs. Perez a hairdryer and the cat a box of catnip. A gift indeed is a gift in need, he says, and he pants up the stairs. We make our way up to the 14th floor. Santa huffs and puffs. Sweat is streaming from Santa's forehead. Wait, Willie! Santa leaves his belt, his white gloves, and his heavy red coat behind. We're almost there, I shout. Just a few flights more. Any minute now. But when we arrive at the 15th floor, the light is out. Never fear, light is near. Santa gasped for one more breath. He fumbled in his bag for a light bulb. Aha, found one. Santa, give me a boost, I say. Santa inhales and exhales deeply and tries to lift me up. I turn the light bulb into the socket. The red glow makes it look even more like Christmas. Now Santa is practically crawling on his knees up to the 16th floor, then the 17th. On the 18th floor, Santa is worn out and collapses. I can't go any further, he wheezes. Suddenly, Jose comes up from behind, wearing Santa's hat, gloves, boots, and suit. Guess what I found going up the stairs? He spins himself in a circle like a fashion model. Hey, Willie, who's the old guy on the floor? Jose points to Santa. That's Santa Claus, I try to explain, and you're wearing his clothes. No way, Jose snaps. We don't have fireplaces or chimneys. He's here to see Carlos, I replied to Jose, but I'm not sure he can climb one step more. Santa lays a finger aside his nose and gestures for Jose to go up the last flight of stairs. And what do you know? Jose takes Santa's bag. I'll finish the job for you, Santa. Top of the stairs, I shout. We'll be back for you, Santa. We race to Carlos's door, and I turn the doorknob. It's locked. But suddenly the door creeps open. Hey, I could hear you guys all the way from the East River. What's going on? Carlos rubs his droopy eyes. It's Santa, I holler. He's really here on the 19th floor. Ho, ho, ho. Jose belts out a weak cheer. Merry Christmas! Santa Claus, phooey. That's Jose. Carlos snaps in disappointment. I knew Santa would never come. Suddenly from behind me, a strong voice calls out, Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Santa hands Carlos a gift. He tears the gift open and, surprise, finds a basketball. Carlos' face falls flat. In case you haven't noticed, Santa, I'm in a wheelchair, he mocks. So, Santa says, I'll bet you're still good at defense. There is a silence in the room, but for the first time, Carlos doesn't say no. Next thing, Santa hands a present to me. I got 2 emails, he says. One from Willie and one from Carlos. Santa pulls a letter from his pocket. Santa clears his throat and reads, Dear Santa, ever since my accident, my best buddy Willie isn't the same. He makes me sad. We live in a rough neighborhood, 79 Columbus Street. And you may not want to come, but if you do, it will really cheer Willie up. From Carlos. Santa motions me to open the box and winks to Carlos. I tear the gift wrap off and discover a telescope. I give Carlos a high five. Santa's already changing back into his uniform, and he drops off a gift for Rachel as well. Santa leaves Carlos's apartment, not through a fireplace or a chimney, but through the front door. Oh, his ho, 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 Merry Christmas echoes through the hallway. I wish he could have stayed, but that's okay. He has lots of other kids to visit, Mama said. Maybe they need hope too. Maybe so, I say, because that was the real gift he'd given both Carlos and me, hope. The end. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Check out the gifts in the description. Please support my work at patreon.com/BigPapaScott. Thank you.